Welcome back to Paranormal Perspective. I'm John Lordan, and joining me as always is.
Christy Arnhart.
This is the show where Christy does the research. She looks into a paranormal or paranormal adjacent topic. We're recording it in front of a live audience. We put a question to them, and they kind of decide who's the winner. Is it really paranormal? Is it not? I'm going to try to present the side of being a little more critical, not necessarily skeptic, but critical in terms of thinking, and see if we can kind of come to some conclusion with all of us in terms of what's going on here. So, Christy, what is the case today?
Well, today we'll be discussing the mystery of Mount Shasta in California.
Okay. Now, I used to live there, and Shasta is fine. They might say Shasta in Arkansas, but in California, they do say Shasta. Yeah.
Shasta. Okay.
It's weird because you have more of an accent saying Shasta than Shasta.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Shasta.
Shasta. Excellent. And what is rude? John Rude says Autumn Falls in the chat. What is the question that we're going to put to Autumn Falls and the rest of everyone in the live audience today?
The question today is Mount Shasta a paranormal epicenter?
Okay. Is Mount Shasta a
Sorry.
normal epicenter? Yes or no? Okay. I like it.
Okay. Well, according to Wikipedia, Mount Shasta is a potentially active volcano at the southern end of the Cascade Range in Siskiyou County, California, at an elevation of 14,179 feet. It's the second highest peak in the Cascades and the fifth highest in the state. The
Wow.
mountain and surrounding area are part of the Shasta
Mm-hmm.
Trinity National Forest. And isn't that beautiful?
It is beautiful. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean,
And
I've lived in Colorado and Wyoming, places like that. This is just beautiful.
yeah. Yeah. I love the snow cap on it too, which is kind of
Oh,
a
yeah.
regular
And the
feature.
weird cloud formations.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
like those a lot too.
They hide the UFOs. Yeah, that's how you know.
Well, according to some of those are UFOs too. You know, they
Oh.
can disguise themselves as clouds, right?
No, I didn't know that.
They can.
Those aliens,
They
they're so
can.
tricky.
I know, they're always coming up with something new. Now, the oldest known human settlement in this area dates back about 7,000 years.
Ooh. Okay.
I mean, there's native tribes that lived there and still live there. It's just an incredible history. Now, I will be honest with you. Doesn't it look like it just is sitting on the clouds
I
almost?
know. It looks fake almost. Like, oh, who superimposed this
No.
background on this picture? Yeah. Yeah. No, it's beautiful.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you.
Okay.
I'm going to cover a lot of different legends today, and I think some of them are complete crap.
Well, hold on a second.
I
Now,
know.
I think she learned something from the last episode because of the last episode she did a what I call the shotgun paranormal approach, where she
Mhm.
brings in a bunch of different stories. It sounds like she's going for it again today. Is that what's happening?
I am not.
Well, you have to tell us which ones you think are crap then as we're
Oh, I
going.
will.
Okay. Okay.
Believe me, because I can barely get through reading it. Now, beneath Mount Shasta, I'm going to
Good
do this
catch.
through the whole show.
It's a good catch.
There are a complex of tunnels and a hidden city called Telos. It's the city of light for the ancient Lemurians. Now, they were residents of the mythical lost city continent of Lemurian, which met its demise under the waves of the Pacific or the Indian Ocean. It just depends on where you look. Thousands of years ago. Now,
Okay.
if it starts to sound a little bit like Atlantis, it basically is. And the
Okay.
story goes that Lemuria and Atlantis got into a thermonuclear war that sank both of their continents. Now, I usually don't poo-poo things like that because, there's a place in India that they believe a nuclear explosion happened, but it happened so many thousands of years ago, it had to have had a natural catalyst.
Okay.
So stuff like that is interesting. They have uranium in the area, radiation, everything like it was actually, bombed.
Yeah.
So, but other than that, man, I don't buy this at all.
Yeah, well, we've got one problem here. Mike in the chat is pointing out. He said, "How did the Indian Ocean get to California?" It's a good question.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, because
Well, they traveled.
the city traveled.
Well, there were some survivors. It's like
Oh, okay,
Atlantis. There's always survivors.
okay.
And some of them made it to Mount Shasta and they started their great big city.
Now
I
hold on. Is
can't,
this story part of the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe universe? Is
uh,
that the universe we're talking
no, because
about? What?
that's more interesting. I would want to go to Narnia.
I mean, everything I'm hearing right now sounds completely fictionalized, and the artwork I'm looking at for this book was like someone just
Mhm.
wrote a fantasy tale, right?
Well, let me get to that.
Okay, okay,
See, the Lemurians are so beautiful, almost 7 foot tall, long hair, perfect features. They sound like the Fae to me.
okay. Oh, here we go.
But see, here we go.
Mm-hmm.
This legend mixes mermaids and Lemurians. I'm not going into that one.
Okay.
Okay. This legend actually comes from the tale of Frederick Oliver. Oliver was a miner and he first came. Sorry. Oliver was a miner and he was out one day in 1883 setting posts to delineate his property. Each post had to be set specifically. So he had a journal, and every time he put a post in, he marked it in his journal. Well, after a while, he started to notice that his right hand was shaking.
Is this
When he
him,
tried to
by
write,
the way?
oh, yeah, that's him.
Okay, okay,
When he tried to write in his journal, what he would try to write is not what his hand would do. It would write sentences and phrases like automatic writing.
Oh, well, that's the devil that does that. We've already covered that episode.
He does have a little automatic writing in there.
Yeah.
That's true. Well, this kept up. When he got home, he told his mother about it. So she went and got him paper and just let him sit down and write and write. He did this off and on over 7 years. And at the end of those 7 years, he had enough information to make a manuscript. That is where we get the legend of Lemurians.
Okay.
Lemurians.
Okay.
In 1899, he published this book. So it
Okay.
gives us all of it. Supposedly the Lemurians have knowledge of magnetism, quantum physics, machinery, and science that we don't even understand today.
I love how magnetism is magic to so many people.
Well,
It just comes up frequently as
it does.
as a reasoning for like some kind of amazing science thing. Like we had it with the Coral Castle, and yeah,
Yep.
yeah, it's just magnetism.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
you don't
Magnetism's where it
understand.
is.
You don't understand the power of magnets.
Just the Lemurians.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, I don't believe this one at all. At
What
all. And
anything in this book? You don't believe?
anything to do with the Lemurians.
Oh, with the Lemurians. Okay, because yeah, we
Yeah.
kind of swung to the Lemurians thing sounds completely fictionalized, but then you pulled it back to a real person,
Mhm.
but he's having an instance of automatic writing and he's
And I
laid out a
totally believe in
manuscript.
automatic writing.
Okay.
I just do not believe that there are very tall, beautiful people living at the center of Mount Shasta that have this beautiful gold civilization and technology we can't dream. I am not buying any of that.
Yeah, I mean, this
And
looks like a
then you
scene from
start,
Avatar here. I'm glad.
it looks
I'm,
like
I'm glad someone isn't like, oh, this is what it really looked like, or like,
this is
um,
what my niece would have as the wallpaper on her phone.
yeah, yeah,
Seriously. And from there, you start to get into the lizard people, the reptilians, and supposedly they live inside the mountain in a big civilization too.
yeah.
Not buying that.
Okay.
But that's not the only legend. What interests me more here are the native legends.
Okay.
You know, Native Americans were in this place for thousands of years, and their creation myths deal with this mountain. I mean, they can date their lineages back to the time when eruptions actually took place at Mount Shasta, and the last eruption was a little over 3,000 years ago.
Yeah, that's amazing.
In their culture, Shasta is Gamakunk. And I'm
Okay.
sorry if I pronounced that wrong. I couldn't even find a pronunciation. But he's
Okay.
their creator. And he is said to reside there. He came from heaven and landed on the peak of the mountain. The Modoc people also keep the bones of their people there. They believe that the Kag- Kagmi, Mata Kagmi,
Okay.
which in Modoc means Bigfoot, are known to be there as well. And you get Bigfoot sightings all over the place up there.
That's
They
true.
were called the Keepers of the Woods.
Yeah. Okay.
And even today, you get sightings from them. That I believe, totally believe. Now, the Native Americans have always felt that this mountain was the center of the universe. It's the navel of this world. It just makes sense to me. There are there are definitely energies and things that happen here that people can't explain. And anytime you get native tribes who have histories that are thousands of years old, I'm going to believe them. I'm
Okay.
too scared not to.
I mean, I respect the histories, and I'm glad that they're able to track that, and that they have that culturally, that they're able to,
Hmm.
have records and trace things back that far is amazing.
It
Um,
is.
and
And they
yeah, this
still,
is a magic area just in terms of its beauty, its spectacle, how much life would be created around this. I mean, imagine all the water that's running off
yeah,
from this snow constantly, filling all the streams and the rivers and all the wildlife and everything. Like, yeah, honestly, even the argument, and I'm not a big Bigfoot proponent, but the argument that you might find some type of species, like, look at this type of climate and all the different areas that are basically being represented. Like, that was kind of one of the beautiful things about living in California was, you could be at the beach, take a drive, and 2 hours later you're on a mountain with snow. Like, it's just
yeah.
the climate there is very, very interesting. But this place in particular, I mean, it's epic in terms of how beautiful it is.
Well, even the lake that sets is the lake in front of Mount Shasta. Shasta?
Well, it depends on what side you're on, basically. But yeah,
That's true.
yeah.
I'll get to that here in a minute, though. Before I do, though, another of the legends and draws to this area are the UFOs.
Okay.
People have been seeing UFOs for over 100 years in this place. The most recent one, I think, was 2020 or 2022, but it was a cloud. It
How
was just a
did you see
freaking
a picture?
cloud. Oh yeah. Let me let me put it up and I will put it in the chat for you
Okay.
because I don't have it. What am I looking up again?
The the cloud UFO.
Oh yes. I can't believe I lost it as I started typing.
It's been deleted from the internet for being ridiculous. Are you going to put it
Now
in
this,
the live stream chat, or are you going to drop it in my meeting
oh,
chat?
I'm gonna drop it into your chat.
Okay. Yeah, I'll bring it up on screen if you drop it in there.
Okay. Where's it at? Oh, here we go. CBS News picked this one up.
No. They're
They
usually pretty
did.
good.
There
Let's
you
see
go.
here. All right.
But yeah, I mean, seriously, you can look at it and go, "Oh, that cloud looks like UFO." But it's not.
UFO shaped lenticular cloud. Well, so they're already cleaning it up, you know.
Oh yeah.
It's a UFO shape. Well, what is shaped like a UFO, first of all? Like, we don't have a real definition of what a UFO shape is, but
Mhm.
UFO shaped lenticular cloud spotted near Mount Shasta.
And it
That
does
is,
look like an old UFO.
yeah, I mean, if I was going to say anything, I'm like, wormhole. Wormhole opens up above Mount Shasta. Aliens fall out of
Something.
it. You know,
Be more
something,
interesting.
something like that. To be fair, and honestly, I'm just trying to be fair in terms of the stories you're telling us. This type of imagery, how beautiful this area is, seeing something like that, like I could copy paste that thing and put it in the sky here and it would look appropriate, you
Hmm.
know?
Yeah.
So I think it's just pointing out once again just how epic this place is in terms of physical beauty.
When you get a chance, guys, look up the cloud formations that appear there. They're beautiful and they feel so mysterious. I mean, I know they all have names and whatnot, but
Yeah.
I have footage of UFOs.
Well, we're 40 episodes into this show now. What have you been sitting on it for?
Well, I hadn't looked up the Mount Shasta ones.
Oh, okay.
So yes, we have 4 different videos and none of them are long,
Okay. Do I have a
but
clip?
you will.
Do I have a link on that?
Oh yeah, I sent all of them.
Oh, I don't think I saw
Here,
that.
I can put them in the chat.
Yeah, I don't have the
I
videos.
wonder why it didn't copy over.
Mm-mm. All right, let's see
It's
here.
gonna blow your mind.
Oh goodness. They always do, Christy. They always do. Let's see. Oh wait. That's the CBS News one. Copy link. Okay, 17 seconds. Oh, 17 seconds is all we need to prove UFOs. You
It
guys
is.
ready? Here we go.
Look at them sparkle.
Why is it a picture of a picture again?
It looks like it's on an old VHS tape to me.
Jeez. It's a camcorder screen. They're holding a camcorder screen.
Oh.
What? Why do they do that?
I don't know.
Now, to be fair, all we're seeing here is twinkling lights. And
Mhm.
that's one thing about Mount Shasta. There's not a lot of cities and stuff around it. So that kind of
Mhm.
ambient light that gets thrown up doesn't happen there. And,
Mhm.
you know, the stars are a whole different thing out there.
Mhm.
So I'm not surprised by that. As a matter of fact, it almost looks like a constellation that's showing up there. But okay.
I
Okay.
have more proof.
What was your thought on that one in terms of,
I've never seen the stars sparkle like that
okay.
when you film them,
Yeah.
so I don't really understand what's going on there.
Uh-oh, this one's 14 minutes long. We're not gonna be able to watch the whole
Yeah,
thing.
but I think you started at 28 seconds.
Okay. We'll see here. Huge flying saucer over Mount Shasta? Question mark?
Caught,
Recently submitted to us
caught
on
on
Third
Google
Phase Moon. It's the
Maps.
first time we've seen. We'll be sharing this
What was
with
that?
you in this
It was
episode,
caught on
including
Google Earth.
some NASA footage and some possible weather
There it
manipulation.
is.
But we're going to be also supplying the original coordinates to this discovery that came to our attention right here at Third Phase Moon. So buckle up, everybody. Let's get to it. We're going to start off with
Well,
the
show us
ISS
back.
footage of something that appears
Oh, that's it for that
on
one?
ISS cameras of a
Yeah,
small
so
white
yeah, I
light
would just go back.
right here at
The
Third Phase.
thing that you
Sharing
can't
this
trust,
with you in this episode,
and we
including
know this because if you guys haven't joined us for a live stream, at the end of almost every live stream, we play a game called GeoGuessr that takes place in Google Maps. It's basically, it drops you at a spot and you have to figure out where you are.
some
The
NASA
thing about Google Maps is the devices that they use to get those images, they sometimes use, I don't know if they're probably doing it with AI now, but they use some type of thing to wipe it out so that you don't see the guy that's riding his bike with the selfie stick. Like they'll try to wipe the guy out or wipe the selfie stick out. And it's not 100%. Sometimes there's little artifacts that are kind of left behind. So it's tough with something like this. Like it doesn't necessarily look like that to me,
and
but the artifacts are always
Impossible.
different. Like they don't ever look the same when you catch that kind of wiped out artifact. So yeah,
Well,
using
whether-
Google Earth and finding bizarre things, I mean, we play a whole mode called WTF because they literally go looking for bizarre things. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it's not out of the realm of possibility. And I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sold on that one. That's
Oh,
not,
I think that's a UFO.
well, you think that. Was that the best? That was the best example out of this whole 14-minute video?
Well, I mean, there's two more.
I'm going to see if I can just flash ahead to where they are. Let me see here. That looked like it was space footage. So, like,
Yeah.
you're going to see weird stuff in space, no doubt. What is this?
The punch cloud.
Oh, yeah, it's cloud formations with the sun setting behind it. That's not. And he's back on Google Earth. He's showing the same one again. He's really convinced about this one. But to the point I was trying to make, look at the bottom of this tree here. Something
Yeah.
weird is happening with this image directly in line with this object. This is not natural down here. That looks
Is it a
like
square that's cut out under the tree?
it does. It looks like there's a square, like a piece of the picture is missing. Yeah, on both sides, actually, it looks like something weird's happening. That to me looks like some type of either it's that mechanism I was talking about where it's trying to remove an item, or keep in mind, these Google Earth things are multiple photos that have been stitched together. And sometimes when they stitch them together, you see weird things that happen. That's kind of what that's hitting me as, is like, oh, they've stitched together two photographs there and they didn't match up on the bottom of that tree right.
You don't think that they're just beaming straight down under the tree?
The aliens?
Yes, and that's why it's cleared out in a
I don't.
square.
Yeah, no. If I was going to beam down somewhere, I would beam down into a pizza shop. I don't know that I would beam down into a tree if I was. Maybe, yeah. I don't know. Maybe they
They're
eat wood.
hidden.
Oh, look, there it is again. Now it looks exactly like the same object. This has to be the same.
Well, this isn't even the footage that I wanted to show everybody.
Oh,
definitely broad daylight.
yeah. No, it's still this. He's really caught on.
It's
that
the
one.
same UFO.
Okay.
Damn. Sorry, guys. He got me with that one.
Let's see here. 47 seconds. All right. UFO comes down in the upper left corner. Get ready, everybody. Upper left corner.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And we're waiting. Any second.
It'll get there.
This?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Christy, we have to have a talk because for a while now, there's been this thing called airplanes that we have.
Yeah.
You know, they fly like 30,000 feet in the air.
They do.
Yeah. And if you pick them up on your cell phone camera like this guy did, that's exactly what they would look like. Yeah. I mean, there's not enough detail there to be fair. It could be a UFO.
It wouldn't be a paranormal video if there was little to see.
I mean, if there was too much detail.
If there's too much detail, it's fake.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that one's, I can't say it's a plane because honestly, I can't see the wings.
Mm-hmm.
But I also don't see the pilot and I don't see stewardesses. Like there's just level of detail on that one is severely lacking. It could be a saucer. It could absolutely be a saucer.
I think it's a saucer.
UFO that disappears directly behind Mount Shasta. You're not going to correct me on my pronunciation there?
No.
Well, don't play that music because I'm pretty sure that music's copywritten. What are they doing here?
Mute it.
Yeah, they are. I don't see where the mute is. I don't have a mute
I guess
option.
you can on these shorts, huh?
Yeah, that's all right. I'll drop it out in the edit.
There it went.
Oh, yeah, it flew behind the mountain. Like you could see the edge, even in this crappy dark shot. There's the top of the mountain. Something's flying, which by the way, I think that one's a helicopter. And here's the top of the mountain.
Night?
They're moving it down a little bit.
Yeah.
There's the top of it right there. It went behind the mountain.
Yeah, because that's where they land.
Oh, goodness. Man.
Totally get this.
Am I being tough on you?
I totally believe this, except for the Google Earth one. You spanked me on that one.
Okay. What is this?
Now,
This looks familiar.
there are too many legends and stories for me to include in this show. I mean, so many good ones. From the native tribes to people who are there all the time, to people who have been to Lake Siskiyou and, had weird, wild things happen. But more than anything, what I remember are the disappearances that have happened around or on the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
In the last 11, no, it's 11 people have disappeared since I think like 1986.
Okay.
And I realize that's a span of time. But you consistently have this and people worry about it. You have people who go to the mountain for spiritual retreats and stuff like that, but you also have a fair amount of people who are wary of their surroundings and they know people have disappeared here. One of them is Devontae Morgan, and we covered him a while back on Searchlight.
Yeah.
And as we know, Devontae was staying at some place in town, and he and his girlfriend were visiting the mountain and the park. They got into a fight at the place they were staying. She left to go cool off and take a walk. On her walk, she ran into Devontae doing the same thing, and he's not been seen since.
Yeah, it's a troubling case because they tracked him. This photo is actually from some of the tracking they did, and they were like, okay, we can see he's walking over here, he's walking over there, and then they just lose it. They just lose track of him. He wasn't getting along with his girlfriend very well. It was kind of part of the makeup of this whole trip was them to go out there and, try to kind of rekindle things. And I think you have to stay open to several different possibilities when it comes to that case because of the emotion. The emotions in this case are really, really complex. And, could it be a self-harm situation? No one wants that, obviously.
No.
It could be. Could it be an accidental situation? He goes walking, decides he's going to go off on a trail, finds himself lost, gets hurt, gets injured. It's another possibility in that as well. Yeah. And then if I remember right, there was also an aspect where someone thought they gave him a ride to the next town over, which I saw in one of the articles. The town's name was Weed. So yeah, there was a couple of strange occurrences down this. Paranormal, I don't know, but
it just adds to the mystery for me because like I said, he's not the only one.
Yeah.
And these cases are, they're like most missing persons cases. It was like 1 minute they were there and then they're just gone.
Yep. Christy, before I end the poll, do you want to get your vote in on it? See if you can.
I still had another point to make.
Oh, you can make the point, but get your vote in too.
Okay. So if you look at missing 411 situations, you're obviously going to have more cases. He tends to do that. Stuff gets lumped in. They're very interesting reads. But if you dig into the details, he almost leaves out important facts to make this fit his narrative. So
I'm happy that you presented it that way because I agree 100%. Yeah.
I was really disappointed because, man, when I started reading them, I was so into it.
Yeah.
But then we started covering these people, and I was like, this is not what happened.
Yeah. Well, keep in mind, he thinks that Elisa Lam was attacked by a vampire because there was no blood in her body. So, yeah.
What?
Yeah. Anyway, okay.
So there we go.
All right.
We live on a weird, wild planet.
Yeah, we sure do. I'm ending the poll, and we definitely have a decisive answer here. 64% of the live audience said no, Christy.
Oh, come on.
They think it's fake.
There's portals. There's time slips. Oh.
There's a time slip already. All right. I just lost 30 minutes of my life. Well, Christy. Yeah, you won last week using the shotgun approach. Shotgun approach did not pull through for you this week. So,
I didn't use it on this week's. I told you the
mhm.
ones I thought were crap.
That's true. She was very upfront about it. In any case, we appreciate you diving down this rabbit hole, coming back with all these nuggets, and giving me a good chuckle, if nothing else. So thank you so much for all your hard work on today's episode. And thank you guys for joining us as well. Please come
Oh,
back
yeah.
on the next episode of Paranormal Perspective. We'll see you on the other side.